Krishna, Lakshmi, you're welcome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitanye Nabhutale Sayam Rupa Padam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sadhana Sadvaitam Savadutam Varigana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sadhana Lalita Shri Krishna Kavitam Star He Krishna Karuna Singh Nagapati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Dapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripe Panchapalpanarubyasya Kripasindu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, you're welcome to this section. So, without waiting for that time, let's start our recitation.
I'll go first, Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matha sarvam pravartati iti matha janti mam buddha baba samambitaha. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual immaterial worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. Hare Krishna.
I'll go next, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Okay. Chapter 10, Text 8. Aham sarva bhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who personally know this engages in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Chapter 10, Text 9. I'm just gonna do this, Prabhu. Okay. Machita matkata prana budayanta parashparam kathayantashamam nityam vishanti cha ramanti cha. Translation: the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for reminding us, Mother Lakshmi, for raising your hand. And those who want to give after her, after Mother Nyarika, you should raise your hand so that you can go automatic. Thank you. Mother Nyarika, thank you for raising your hand also.
I'll go, Prabhu. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Translation: I am the source of all material and spiritual worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engages in my devotional service and worship me with all of their hearts. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'll go next. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engages in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna.
If no one is going again, so let's continue. So who wants to summarize our previous class?
Me, Prabhu.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Please go
Only
ahead.
for this week.
Very good.
I'm just giving Mother Nikki a rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good.
Okay, so 1 second, Prabhu. Let me open my notes. One second. Okay, so yesterday before you started the class, you actually elaborated more on pure devotional service, and then you said that pure devotional service involves rendering favorable service to Sri Krishna without desire for personal gain, and then we should also engage in chanting and hearing about and also remembering about Krishna as part of our devotional service, and also it's only through pure devotion that one can truly understand and obtain Sri Krishna. And then you also said something like intellectual knowledge is insufficient to comprehend the Supreme Lord. And then the next, so in the verse 10:14, verse 14, you actually quoted from chapter 4, verse 3. Bhakto sime saka chite. You are my devotee as well as my friend. Because you said that since Arjuna is a friend and a devotee of Shri Krishna, then he has the right and the right understanding to actually receive the knowledge from Shri Krishna. And then if one is envious of Sri Krishna, then one can never understand Sri Krishna. Just like many living entities, so they're actually very envious to Sri Krishna, so they don't have that capacity to actually understand him because they want to enjoy as well. Just like you said, they want to be like they're competing with Shri Krishna. They want to have many girlfriends. Yeah, like, why do you have so many girlfriends? I want to have that one too. So something like that. So devotees cannot, or these kinds of people cannot understand Shri Krishna because they want to compete. And then, so we must give up this type of envious nature. This is what you said as well. And then when we render service to Shri Krishna, like this is how we actually derive our pleasure. It's through serving Shri Krishna. And then you also said that Shri Krishna is the only enjoyer, and we are being enjoyed by him. So that's one thing. And then for text 15, so you actually describe the glories of the the glories of Shri Krishna, and it was confirmed that Shri Krishna is the source of all and the source of like demigods. And then you actually quoted, like you emphasized the words Jagatpati and as well as Deva Deva. And then you also quoted from Sri Brahma Samhita 533, Advaita Machutam Anadim Anantarupam, this one. And I'm just gonna read the translation of that one. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but attainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without beginning, whose form is endless, who is beginning and eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. And then for 16, you actually emphasize here that this is where, for 16, verse 16, you emphasize that this is where Arjuna like came to a point, like he is already asking Shri Krishna to tell him like the details of his opulence. And then you mentioned something like the way on how Sri Arjuna approached Sri Krishna or wanting to ask Sri Krishna more about the details. So you said something like you must glorify Sri Krishna first, and then be in a respectful attitude towards Sri Krishna, and then that's when you can ask more information. And then you also quoted and you also said that we can apply this one in our material lives. So in a diplomatic way, we should be approaching in a respectful way so that we should glorify the person we're asking more information from, so that that person is going to give us like, or maybe it could melt the person's heart in a way. So they will give you the information. And then you also said that to appreciate the person where we want to get knowledge from. And then you also gave an example about Sri Hanuman, where he was facing this obstacles when he was going to Sri Lanka. And then he was encountering this very big demon with a very big mouth, and then he went into like small, tiny Sri Hanuman. And then this is where you said like sometimes like in situations we do get in our life that we get these type of situations, so where definitely we are going to face such obstacles, and all you have to do is to be humble. And then you said like humility is the first symptom of knowledge. We need to be humble in order for us to achieve more in our service for our Guru and Sri Krishna. And that was the end for 16. We actually did not read the purport on this. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Amazed listening to what we spoke yesterday. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. So we have to read the purport today. So let's start from there. Actually, it's very nice to listen to the summary, you know. It's like you are listening to a class and you are really appreciating it. Okay, so let's read the purports.
I read it, Prabhu.
Yes, please, Matak.
Sorry. In this verse, it appears that Arjuna is already satisfied with his understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. By Krishna's grace, Arjuna has personal experience, intelligence, and knowledge, and whatever else a person may have, and through all these agencies, he has understood Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him, there is no doubt, yet he asking Krishna to explain his all-pervading nature. People in general and the impersonalists is particularly concerned themselves mainly with all-pervading nature of the Supreme. So Arjuna is asking Krishna how he exists in his all-pervading aspects through his different energies. One should know that he is being asked by Arjuna on behalf of the common people. Hare Krishna.
Well, this is very, very important. That just like Prabhupada quoted in one of the purports, that Krishna has three aspects: the Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Prabhupada mentioned also in this purport that, you know, the impersonalists, they appreciate more the all-pervading nature of Krishna. And this is the question Arjuna is asking. He wants Krishna to show how he pervades everything. So every aspect of knowledge of Krishna is very, very important for a devotee. Even though we have more love for the personality of God, still we want to know his glory, how he pervades everywhere, how he pervades everything, how he controls the universe. This is, you know, devotees to really appreciate and relish the greatness of the Supreme Lord more and more. So Arjuna, putting himself in our position to ask more from Krishna about how he pervades the universe. So he's asking this question after glorifying Krishna. You know, after glorifying Krishna. Now he's asking this question. So let's go to the next one. Then we start hearing about all these wonderful people. Okay. Arjuna still continue speaking. Now it says 17. Katamidamam yogim twam sadam parichitaya keshu sabak shapa keshu chitosi bhagavamaya. Oh Krishna, supreme mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various form are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? So Arjuna, you know, is asking all this question for our benefit. Many people in this world, they say, where is God? Where is God? And this is very important. That is why they should read Bhagavad Gita. Because God is everywhere. He pervades everywhere. You can see him through his energy. Like we have read in chapter 7, some part of them, there's chapter 8, part of them also we read, you know, the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the ability in man. This is how we can perceive God. Whenever you remember all these things, just imagine when you drink water and you feel your thirst, you know, going away, you should appreciate Krishna. So thank you, my Lord. And when you see, every time you see the sunrise, Papa said we should chant a very wonderful prayer from Brahma Samhita. Yaksha Shu Savita Sakila Takalangra Hanan Raja Samasta Suramurti Achesha Teja Yasya Gaya Brahmiti Sabita Kala Shakro Govinda Made Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So when we see the sun every morning, we can offer this prayer to the sun because the sun represents the eyes of God, of Krishna. Without the sun, we cannot see. If there is no sun, we cannot see in the day. Just like at night, we can see because of all this light we have in our room. Once let's say the electricity company switch off the lights, everywhere will become dark. We cannot even see ourselves. So we need light to see. So Krishna's energy is by Krishna's energy we can see. These our eyes. This our eyes we are very proud of. It's so useless without Krishna's energy. Without the sun or the moon or the light, his eyes is useless. We cannot see anything. So that whenever we see the sun in the morning, we should offer this wonderful prayer. There's another prayer, proper mention in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can offer when we see the sun in the morning. Om Bhuva Swaha Tasavetri Variyam Bargo Deva Sadi Mai Diyo Yona Prachodayat. How many of you know this Gayatri mantra? Yes, yeah, very good. So whenever in the morning you see the sunlight, you just look at the sunlight and you offer this prayer. Or you offer the one from Brahma Samhita. Yakshakshu Sabita Sakanagra Nam Raja Samasta Suramurti Sheshateja Yasya Gaya Brahmiti Sabita Kalachakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So it shows that you are offering respect to the Son God who represent the eyes of God. Because God is seeing, that is why we can see. Because of the sunlight. If not, our material eyes is very useless actually. Without the sun, without the sunlight or the moonlight or the electricity, we cannot see anything. Become useless. See? So yeah, Arjuna continues to glorify Krishna, and he wants Krishna to. How shall I know you? In what very form are you to be remembered? O Supreme Personality of Godhead, please show me your form. Let's read the purport.
I'll read it, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
As it is stated in the previous chapter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is covered by his Yoga Maya. Only surrendered souls and devotees can see him. Now, Arjuna is convinced that his friend Krishna is a Supreme Godhead, but he wants to know that the general processes by which all-pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. Common men, including the demons and atheists, cannot know Krishna because he is guarded by his Yoga Maya energy. Again, these questions are asked by Arjuna for their benefit. The superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding but for the understanding of all the mankind. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he is a Vaishnava, a devotee is opening for the common man the understanding of all pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. He addresses Krishna specifically as Yogin because Sri Krishna is the master of the Yoga Maya energy by which he is covered and uncovered to the common man. The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially. Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic persons of this world. The word Kesu Bhaveshu refers to material nature. The word Bhava means physical things because materialistics cannot understand Krishna spiritually. They are advised to concentrate their mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita so that we can see him everywhere. So we are going to be hearing all those descriptions now, and we should practice them whenever we see. Like when you see the sun, when you see the moon, remember God. When you drink water, you remember him. Most important thing is just to remember Krishna always. So Krishna is going to describe all these opulences. So Arjuna continues. Visarenatmano yoga vibhutim chajana dana boya kataya triptihi srivanto nasime mritam O Janardana. Again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I'm never satisfied in hearing about you. But the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. This is how you know one who is already attached to Krishna. He's not tired of hearing about Krishna. He wants to hear more and more about Krishna. The more he hears about Krishna, the more you want to hear more and more about Krishna. This is how you know. So Arjuna is saying, confirming that here. I want to hear more about you. Shivanto Nasime Mritam. The more I hear, you know, the more I relish your glories. I want to hear more and more. You see, let's hear the purport.
I read it, Prabhu.
Yes, madam.
But before I read it, is the music in my background audible? Okay,
So.
very good. It's very loud here. So I'm just gonna read it. Purport. A similar statement was made to Sutta Goswami by the rishis of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka. That statement is Vayam tu va pitripyama uttama shloka vikrame yat shrinwatam rasa jnanam swadu pade pade. One can never be situated even though one continuously hears the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, who is glorified by excellent prayers. Those who have entered into transcendental relationship with Krishna relish at every step the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.19. Thus Arjuna is interested in hearing about Krishna and specifically how he remains as the all-pervading Supreme Lord. Now, as far as Amritam, nectar, is concerned, any narration or statement concerning Krishna is just like nectar, and this nectar can be perceived by practical experience. Modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord in that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about Krishna. It is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with reference to the pastimes of the incarnation of Godhead. The Puranas are histories of bygone ages that relate the pastimes of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, the reading matter remains forever fresh despite repeated readings. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prata. Just like now we are reading Bhagavad Gita. Does it sound like something that has been spoken 5,000 years ago? No. We are enjoying it. Every day we have been studying for long now. For how many months we have been studying Bhagavad Gita now? We are never tired. It's not like something that, like finding something that Krishna talking about something that is relevant only 5,000 years ago. No. Whatever we are hearing is relevant to our life at present now. This is the importance, this is the difference between transcendental topic matter. That is why Arjuna is relishing it and he wants to hear more and more. That is why even people have been hearing this message for 5,000 years ago, since 5,000, they are still relishing it today. And the more you read it, the more you relish it more and more. This is the greatness of transcendental subject matter. The same thing the sages of Naimisharanya, they say, Swadu pade pade yashivata nasagyanam. We hear the nectar of your wonderful pastime, the more we want to hear more again and again. We are not satisfied, we are not satiated. We want more. We never tire. So that is the test for one who has developed ruchi, taste, and attachment for Krishna. They want to hear more about the glories and transcendental activities of Krishna. If you want to know whether you have developed a taste for Krishna or attachment for Krishna, that is the litmus test. You would love to hear more about Krishna. Okay. Now Krishna is speaking again. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Atate Katayishyami Divyai Atma Vibhogataya Pradayanta Kurushestas Nasyato Visarasyame. If you look at God and say, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestation, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opponents is limitless. This is Krishna speaking. For my opponents is limitless. I will only tell you the prominent one. Of all my vibhutis, I will tell you the prominent one. Arjuna. Okay. Because they are unlimited. This is Krishna. It's unlimited, unfathomable, inconceivable personality. So if we know just little of his greatness, our life becomes successful. Let's read Prabhupada's purport.
I'll read.
Yes.
Okay? It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or any state of life. Rather, the very topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus, the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and his diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that living entities do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of his different energies. The word pradayanta, or principle, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord, for his features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand them all. And vibhuti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which he controls the whole manifestation. In the Amarakosha dictionary, it is stated that vibhuti indicates the exceptional opulence. The impersonalist or pantheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestations of his divine energies. Both in the material world and in the spiritual world, his energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now, Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy is described in this way. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So what is the difference between the impersonalists and pantheists? Let's discuss. What is the difference between personalists and pantheists? Let's discuss.
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yes, please, Matan.
Okay, so I think personalist is when you actually have one vigraha or one form of the Lord that you want to worship, and you focus on that form of the Lord, whichever comes or whichever is closer to your heart. Pantheist,
Impersonalists and pantheists.
impersonalist. Okay, impersonalist is more into like the formless form of the Lord. It's like they are more into the Brahmajyotir aspect of the Lord, and they don't actually worship any form of the Lord. And with the pantheist, it's more like they worship different types of forms of the Lord, different forms, different vigrahas of his form, like that. Krishna.
Thank you very much for trying. Yes, somebody else want to try?
Okay, I'll try, Prabhu. For the impersonalist or the Mayavadi, they believe that Krishna is formless. So they believe that he is Bhagavan, the Supreme, but he cannot be a common man.
Yeah.
The pantheists, on the other hand, they believe that Krishna, the God, is the universe. So it's like it's bigger. The thing about these two is their understanding of Krishna, comprehension of Krishna is very limited. It's not the same as those who, like the devotees of Krishna. Just like in the previous verse, remember when we discussed verse 15 of chapter 10, that some may understand Krishna as the Purushottam, or the Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, or Deva, but it's almost like gradual, it's not the whole thing. But Krishna is everything, all of that. Krishna is the origin, he's the supreme person, he's the Lord of all beings, he's the God of gods, he's the Lord of the universe. So meaning the Mayavadi, the impersonalist, and the pantheist, they only understand Krishna in a very, very limited scope. That's it, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Two of you, we really appreciate. We want more people to speak up. Always good to hear from you, everyone, so that at least we can know how much you are understanding. Okay, so anyone want to speak? Difference between impersonalists and pantheists, proper mention in the purport. See, the impersonalists or pantheists cannot understand the exceptional opulence of the Supreme God Lord, nor the manifestation of divine energies. So I say, let me ask, what is the difference between impersonalists and pantheists? Anybody want to try more? You speak from your own perspective. Nobody want to try?
Okay, Prabhu, I'll try.
Okay, we like someone trying.
The impersonals, they might view the ultimate reality is in like consciousness and energy, not in the personality. But the pantheists will see that divine is present in identical to everything in the universe.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for trying. Any other person want to try? What is the difference between personalists and pantheists? Okay, thank you very much. I think we very much heard everything from the speakers. So impersonalists, like I always said, we have two kinds of impersonalists. Always take note. We have two kinds of impersonalists. When Prabhupada mostly talking about impersonalists, he's talking about the list of them. Whenever Prabhupada is talking about them, he doesn't talk so much about the spiritual impersonalists. There are two kinds of impersonalists. We have the Brahmavadis and we have the Mayavadis. So the Brahmavadis, they are a little bit higher in knowledge than the Mayavadis. The Mayavadi actually, they are very dangerous because Chaitanya Prabhu says, Mayavadi Krishna aparade. The Mayavadi, they are offender to Krishna. Because why? The Mayavadis, they believe that Krishna appear in this material world with material form. So because of that, they don't believe in forms. They believe in, the impersonal aspect of Krishna. So even if you see them worshiping deities, what will you say it? The biggest surprising thing about these Mayavadis is that they worship deities also. You will see them, they are worshiping deities. But actually, they are not worshiping the deity as the supreme. They are worshiping the deity so that one day they'll become the deity also. Because they believe that they themselves they can become that Krishna. That is the Mayavadis. They consider themselves as their God. That just like God has come in human form, so they are God also who have come in human form. So their philosophy is very dangerous. Chaitanya Prabhu say the devotee should not listen to Mayavadi, the impersonal philosophy. Meanwhile, there's another Mayavadi, Brahmavadis, those who believe in Brahmajyoti. Those ones, they are much higher than the Mayavadis. When we hear about the four Kumaras being they are Brahmavadis, even Sukadev Goswami was Brahmavadis, it's easier for Brahmavadis to become devotee than the Mayavadis. Okay, so that is that about impersonalists. And the pantheists, they are the people who believe that God has distributed himself in the universe. So they believe that God is the universe, he has distributed himself in the universe. And they can worship any aspect of the universe to access God. Okay, they can worship the big mountain, they can worship the tree, they can worship anything in the representation of God. This is the pantheist. So actually, Krishna conscious philosophy encompasses all this. And that is why, Krishna here is going to speak about how he pervades everything. That is how Krishna manifested himself in the universe. But the supremacy of Krishna consciousness is that Om puna madam puna mida puna udashate puna sia puna madaya puna me baba sisiate. Mother Angel, you want to help us with translation?
Yeah, Prabhu. Wait. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is perfectly complete because He is perfectly complete. Everything emanates from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete whole. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because He is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance.
Haribo, thank you very much. So that is the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains complete balance. So even though Krishna is going to describe His pervasiveness, how He distributes Himself in the universe, still He still maintains His full complete personality as Swayam Bhagavan. That is the difference between personalist philosophy, that is Krishna conscious philosophy, and other philosophies. They only focus on one aspect of God. But we believe in all the Trinity. That Krishna is impersonal, Krishna is the super soul, and Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. So we have this full knowledge about Krishna. Meanwhile, the other people, the impersonalists, they always no, God is only impersonal. He's only impersonal, cannot be personal. And the Paramatma people, oh, God is always in the heart of everyone. He's always, as his footstep is in the heart of everyone. So he's hiding in the heart of everyone. But the devotee believe that Krishna can simultaneously, be in all these forms and still maintain his complete balance. Like Mother Angel translated the Sri Upanishad for us. Very, very wonderful shloka we should always remember. It's a very nice shloka. Okay, so let's continue. So Krishna now is telling Arjuna, I'm going to tell you of this greatness. I will tell you of my splendor manifestation, but only of those which are prominent. Arjuna, for my openness is limitless, unlimited. Okay, Krishna is unlimited personality. Okay, so let's continue. Let's now enjoy the opulences of Krishna, how Krishna described it himself. Aham atma budakesha sarva bhutashaya sitaha aham adicha madhyamacha bhutanam anta evacha. Translation: I am the super soul, Arjuna, seated in the heart of all living entity. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Okay, let's read the purport, then I can explain. It's very sweet. I don't want to start explaining before going. Yes. Please read.
Okay. In this verse, Arjuna is addressed as Gudakesha, which means one who has conquered the darkness of sleep. For those who are sleeping in the darkness of ignorance, it is not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual worlds. Thus, this address by Krishna to Arjuna is significant because Arjuna is above such darkness. The Supreme Personality of Godhead agrees to describe his various opulences. Krishna first informs Arjuna that he is the soul of entire cosmic manifestation by dint of his primary expansion before the material creation. The Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansion, accepts the Purusha incarnation, and, and from his everything begins, therefore, he is Atma, the soul of the Mahatattva, the universal element. The total material energy is not cause of the all creation. Actually, the Mahavishnu enters into the Mahatattva, the total material energy. He is the soul. When Mahavishnu enters into the manifested universes, he again manifests himself as supersoul in each and every entity. We have experienced that personal body of living entity exists due to the presence of the spiritual spark. Without the existence of the spiritual spark, the body cannot develop. Similarly, the material manifestation cannot develop unless the Supreme Soul, Krishna, enters. are stated in the Subala Upanishad Prakriti Adi Sarva Uttatarayamani Sarva Sisi Chan Narayamaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing in the Supersoul in all manifested universes. The three Purusha avatars are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Purushakshani Hato Vidu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Kashiyi Vishnu, and Tridaka Sayi Vishnu in this material manifestation. The Mahavishnu or Karanudakasayi Vishnu is described in the Brahma Samhita 547. Ya Haramana Kanarnavadali Bajati cause Bajatis Mayoga Nerdram. The Supreme Lord Krishna, the cause of all causes, lies down in the cosmic ocean as Mahavishnu. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the beginning of this universe and maintainer of universal manifestation in the end of all energy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. So the first verse, Krishna describing his opulence, is that I am the soul of the universe. Because I'm the soul of the universe, I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything. You see, of all beings. Just like this, Krishna is there in our hearts as a super soul. Similarly, Mahatattva is the total cosmic manifestation of this material universe. And Mahavishnu, is the super soul of this cosmic manifestation. Okay? We have three Vishnus. Mahavishnu is the super soul of the cosmic manifestation. The whole cosmic manifestation, Mahavishnu is the super soul. Okay? Then Mahavishnu expands himself to enter all the universes that is coming out from his body. So he expands himself into Gabodakashai Vishnu. So Gabodakashai Vishnu is the super soul of each and every individual universes. Okay? And then from Gabodakashai Vishnu, Lord Brahma came out who created this material universe. Then Gabodakashai Vishnu expanded himself into Shirodakashai Vishnu to enter each and every atom of the universe. This is how Krishna pervades his creation. That is why he said, I am the super soul, I am the soul, I am the Atma, I'm the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the heart of every living entity. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. Because Krishna is the beginning, the middle, and the end of every, because he's the soul of everything. Just like once the soul enters the body starts. Once the soul leaves the body ends. Similarly, because the Lord is present in the universe as the super soul, that is why everything is sustaining. Once the Lord leaves, then there is annihilation. So that is why the Lord is the beginning, the middle, and the end of every being and everything. So here Krishna starts by telling him that I am the soul of the universe. And why is he telling to Arjuna? Because only Arjuna can understand why. Because Krishna referred to Arjuna here as Gudakesha, one who has conquered sleep. Only one who has conquered ignorance can understand this supreme energy of Krishna. If you are still under ignorance, it will be very difficult to understand. Is that clear? Let's read the second opulence. Krishna say here, Aditya namaham Vishnu, Jyotisham Ravi Amshuman, Marishi Marutamasmi, Nakshatra namaham Shashi. Okay, of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of light, I am radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon. Can you understand now? Do you understand how Krishna is pervading everything? So when you see the sun in the morning, you are seeing Krishna. When you see the moon at night, you are seeing Krishna. When you are feeling the wind, you are seeing Krishna. When you see the moon, you are seeing Krishna. So this is how Krishna, that is how we can see Krishna in this universe. So people ask foolishly, where is God? See God in the form of the sun. See him in the form of the moon. See him in the form of wind. He's there in all these things. Okay, let's read the purport.
There are 12 Avidyas, of which Krishna is the principal. Among all the luminaries shining in the sky, the sun is the chief, and in the Brahma Samhita, the sun is accepted as the glowing eye of the Supreme Lord. There are 50 varieties of wind blowing in a space, and of these winds, the controlling deity Marsini represents Krishna. Among the stars, the moon is the most prominent at night, and thus the moon represents Krishna. It appears from these words that the moon is one of the stars. Therefore, the stars that twinkle in the sky also reflect the light of the sun. The theory that there are many suns within the universe is not accepted by the Vedic literature. The sun is one, and as by the reflection of the sun, the moon illuminates. So also do the stars. Since Bhagavad Gita indicates herein that the moon is one of the stars, the twinkling stars are not suns but are similar to the moon.
Thank you very much. So let's continue. Vedanam samavedosmi devanamasmi bhasava indriyana manaschasmi bhutanamasmi chetana. Of the Vedas, I am Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living soul, living force, consciousness. Okay. It's very short purport. Somebody want to read short purport? Self-explanatory verse.
The difference between matter and spirit is that matter has no consciousness like the living entity. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. Eternal consciousness cannot be produced by a combination of matter.
Thank you. Consciousness moves all over our body. You know, this represents Krishna in our body. Because without consciousness in the body, then the person will be pronounced dead. See? And Krishna says, of the senses, I am the mind. That is why it's very difficult for us to control our mind, because it represents Krishna. Unless you surrender the mind to Krishna, you cannot conquer the mind. It's Krishna's energy. It's Krishna. And of the Vedas, I am Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. So when you just look at the best thing in this universe, it represents Krishna. Okay. Rudranam Shakaram Shasmi Bitesho Yaksharakshana Sam Vasunam Pavaka Chasmi Meru Shikari Namaham. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Words, Kubera. Of the Vasus, I am Fire Agni. And of the mountain, I am Meru. So there are about 11 Rudras. So Lord Shiva is represent Krishna. And then we have Yakshashas and Rakshasha. So Kubera also is a Yakshasha also. And Kubera is considered to be the treasurers of the demigods. Okay? And of the Vasus, I am the fire Agni. So we have many Vasus. We had the story about the 6 Vasus. Is it 6 of them? Yeah. Then Bhishma Dev, they offended Vasistha Muni, and they came on this earth, and they were delivered and sent back by Mother Devaki. So Krishna said, I'm the fire, Agni, of these Vasus. And of mountain, I am Meru. Meru is the biggest mountain in this material world, bigger than the Mount Everest. But people consider Everest as the tallest mountain in this earth. But Bhagavad Gita, Krishna did not mention that. It's Meru. Okay. Somebody want to read?
I'll read it, Prabhu.
Yes, Mother India.
There are 11 Rudras, of whom Sankara, Lord Shiva, is predominant, is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord in charge of the mode of ignorance in the universe. The leader of the Yaksha and Rakshasas is Kuvera, the master treasurer of the demigods, and he is the representation of the Supreme Lord. Meru is the mountain famed for its rich natural resources. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Purodasam chamukyatma vedi parta priyaspatim sinanam mamyam saganda sarasam asmi sangara. Our priest, Ojuna, know me to be the chief Brihaspati. That is the spiritual master of the demigod, Brihaspati. Of general, I am Kartikeya. Kartikeya is the son of Lord Shiva. He's the commander-in-chief of the demigods. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean. So whenever you go to the ocean, to the sea, you should see Krishna in the ocean. You should connect, you should know that this ocean represents Krishna. And that is why the ocean is very purifying, you see? Okay, let's read.
I read it, Prabhu.
Yes, Modanyarika.
Indra is the chief demigod of the heavenly planets and is known as the king of the heavens. The planet on which he reigns is called Indraloka. Brihaspati is Indra's priest, and since Indra is the chief of all kings, Brihaspati is the chief of all priests. And as Indra is the chief of all kings, similarly, Skanda or Kartikeya, the son of Parvati, and Lord Shiva is the chief of all military commanders, and of all the bodies of water, the ocean is the greatest. These representations of Krishna only give hints of his greatness.
Let's continue reading. It seems we are going to finish very quick. Maharishena Brigoham Giramasmi Kamaksharam Jagyanam Japo Yagyosmi Savaranam Himalaya. Very nice here. We are going to hear about Japa here. Of the great sages, I am Brigo. Of vibration, I am Transcendental Home. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. Okay? Let's hear Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada is going to stress more about the chanting. Let's hear. Okay.
I want to read this, Prabhu.
Please go ahead. Yes,
Brahma,
please.
first living creature within the universe, created several suns for the propagation of various kinds of species. Among these suns, Bhrigu is the most powerful sage. Of all the transcendental vibrations, Omkara, represents Krishna. Of all sacrifices, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare is the purest representation of Krishna. Sometimes animal sacrifices are recommended, but in the sacrifice of Hare Krishna, there is no question of violence. It is the simplest and the purest. Whatever is sublime in the world is representation of Krishna. Therefore, the Himalayas, the greatest mountains in the world, also represent him. The mountain named Meru was mentioned in the previous verse, but Meru is sometimes movable, whereas the Himalayas are never movable. Thus, the Himalayas are greater than Meru. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Papa mentioned here, whatever is sublime in the world is a representation of Krishna. You just look, anything is the best in the world, represent Krishna. This is part of the devotees of Krishna. Okay, let's enjoy more and hear more about it. Ashwata, who cannot tell me the meaning of Ashwata without looking the word of word translation? Ashwata. without looking at the word-to-word translation. Ashwata means banyan tree. Ashwata sarva vrikshanam deva rishinam shanarada kandavanam shitrarata sidanam kapilo muni. Okay, let's read. Of all trees, I am banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Gandharvas, I am Shitrarata, and among perfected beings, I am sage Kapila. So banyan tree, that is why you see in India, people worship banyan tree, or anywhere. Whenever you see banyan tree, you just see the greatness of Krishna in banyan tree. It's one of the biggest trees in the world. It's the biggest, not the one. It's the biggest tree in the world. You will see him dropping his roots, and those roots also forming their own roots and growing. That is great. That will show you how great Krishna is. That is it. And Narada Muni is the best of the demigods. So here he represents Krishna. Chitrarata. So let's read Papa's purport, then we hear more about that. Wants to read?
I'll read it, Prabhuji. The banyan tree, Ashwatha, is one of the highest and most beautiful trees, and people in India often worship it as one of their daily morning rituals. Amongst the demigods, they also worship Narada, who is considered the greatest devotee in the universe. Thus, he is a representation of Krishna as a devotee. The Gandharva planet is filled with entities who sing beautifully, and among them, the best singer is Chitraratha. Amongst the perfect living entities, Kapila, the son of Devahuti, is a representative of Krishna. He is considered an incarnation of Krishna, and his philosophy is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Later on, another Kapila became famous, but his philosophy was atheistic. Thus, there is a gulf of difference between them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Let's continue. Just take note. Uchashravan Pasam Ashranam Vidi Mamamrito Bhavan Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Chanaradipam. Of the horses, know me to be Osha Shriver, producing during the journey of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephant, I'm Aravata. And among men, I am monarch. So these two things, the two out of three things mentioned here, they are both from the journey of the ocean. Who have read the pastime of the journey of the ocean? How many of you have read the pastime? Journey of the ocean. Can you unmute yourself and say something? If you have read it, or you just raise your hand.
Isn't this, Prabhu, where the demigods and the demons, they were trying to create this elixir?
Yeah, have you read it? The story?
I heard it before, Prabhu. I only heard it through an audiobook.
Go and read it. Okay? You should go and read it. You go to Canto 8. Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see the journey of ocean. It's very nice. Very nice pastime. See, sometimes we don't need to, have to read all the book from beginning to the end. We should sometimes you can just pick a story that interests us and go and read. Because every pastime in the Bhagavatam is independent, So you can read that pastime and still understand that pastime on its own. It's not connected to any other pastime. So you can read the journey of ocean and understanding everything about journey of the ocean. It's very nice. So many things were produced from the journey of ocean. So many activities. It's very nice activity. Pastime to read. Also, how Lord Shiva drank the poison, how Moini Murti deceived the demons and gave it to the demigods. So many wonderful things happen in the journey of the ocean. Even now, Mahakubemala is taking place in India. That nectar that was gotten from the ocean is considered that at a particular time in every, how many years is it? 12 years or 50 years? I've forgotten the numbers of years. They have those different kind of kumbemela. They have Mahakubamela, they have Kumbamela, there are so many different kind of, so one of them happened,
12 years.
Yeah, there's one that happened every 12 years, another one that happened every, is it 50 years or one in one lifetime? They have different types of Kumbamela. So it's considered to be the drop, when the nectar drop on the Ganga. So it's a very special pastime. That is why you see so many of the people in the holy place, trying to take baths in the river, in the holy river at that particular time to get some of this nectar. It's very, very important. You will see so many of the Babajis in India nowadays, this period. Some of them have not come out for many years. You will see them wearing ole kupen and they're moving around. They don't care about anybody. They're just behaving like baby. They're just moving on the road. And you'll see them performing all kind of, show for people. These people, they don't live among people. They live in the Himalayas and, isolate themselves from people. It's very, they come only once in a while, whenever there's some spiritual activity like that. Only in India, you find this kind of people, actually. You don't find it anywhere in the world. Only in India, you find all this kind of weird babajis. So you see some of them, they will tie rope, they will tie stone. They will tie rope to a stone and tie it to their genital and be walking on the road. You will see them. Some of them will put some knife into their nose and their head. Some of them you will see they will put knife inside their mouth. They perform all kind of weird things when you go and see them. Some of them will lie on the stone on the bed of nails. Some of them will put themselves inside. They will put fire and they will sit inside the fire. Some of them will bury themselves inside the ice. Only in India you find this kind of people. These babajis, weird people, very, very special people. Only in India. That is why India is very special in terms of spirituality. And the whole world they respect India for this, the whole world, everywhere. They know that India is very special when it comes to spirituality. So like that. So yeah, Krishna said, I'm the monarch. So let's read the purport.
I'll read. Okay.
Yes.
The devotee demigods and the demons Asuras once took part in churning the sea. From this churning, nectar and poison were produced, and Lord Shiva drank the poison. From the nectar were produced many entities, of which there was a horse named Uchashrava. Another animal produced from the nectar was an elephant named Airavata. Because these two animals were produced from nectar, they have special significance and they are representatives of Krishna. Amongst the human beings, the king is the representative of Krishna because Krishna is the maintainer of the universe, and the kings who are appointed on account of their godly qualifications are maintainers of their kingdoms. Kings like Maharaj Yudhishthir, Maharaj Parikshit, and Lord Rama were all highly righteous kings who always thought of the citizens' welfare. In Vedic literature, the king is considered to be the representative of God. In this age, however, with the corruption of the principles of religion, monarchy decayed and is now finally abolished. It is to be understood that in the past, however, people were more happy under righteous kings. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. People were more righteous, were more happy under righteous king. So, yeah, monarch was the best form of management that God established himself. But now, human beings, we have created our own form of government. Democracy, commercial, what do you call it? Communism, capitalism, and different kind of isms. So now we are very miserable in all this kind of arrangements we have made for ourselves because God's arrangement for us. We want to create our own arrangements. Okay. Although Papa mentioned that the kings have decayed, that is why the monarchy is abolished. Yeah. But actually, democracy is not meant for undeveloped country. Democracy is not good for underdeveloped country, from our own experience. Because democracy is good, is okay in advanced country where 90%, so democracy is okay there. But in undeveloped country that's like, 40% of people are uneducated, they don't even know who they are voting for. So these politicians, they'll just go around and bribe people with money. And they put themselves in position. And when they come to the power, they take all the money for themselves. You see? So in that situation, democracy is not the best for those kind of people. So it should not be imposed on everyone to follow democracy, because people should find their own means of governance according to their environment. Okay, so we stop here because we're going to join the other classroom. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll continue from here tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Monday, Prabhu.
Okay, Monday. Okay, I know someone. And I know I'm going to hear definitely Monday. I know this. Tomorrow is Saturday. Thank you very much for reminding me. Hare Krishna. Mancha kapataravesha. Kipasene vacha palitanampa manevyo. Vaishya namuna.